What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Andrea Kelley, and this is the after show of The Things I Never Said.
Look, you gonna introduce who doing the interview since you said all that?
This is brought to you by The Antidote Network. Make sure you check them out on all streaming platforms, Roku, TV. Stop playing with them, okay? YouTube, Instagram, all of that. Go follow them. Tell them that I sent you.
All right, so why we here today?
So we are here today because I am releasing my project, The Things I Never Said. This is my first ever R&B album. So I am putting it out independently, and I just want to tell the world what I did and show them what I did.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Yes.
I'll get straight to it.
Let's get straight to it.
What took so long?
We're just gonna get right in there, huh? Well, a number of things. First of all, I was signed under a contract that went left 2 years ago. So, well, really 4 years ago. So that project never got created and never got put out. So here we are, independent, ready, willing. What's up?
Okay.
So, and also, I would say it took me a while to become confident in myself as a singer, as a songwriter. I've always had like this anxiety around like just putting myself out there as an artist. So, especially like the things that I wanted to talk about. You know, I'm a girl, I'm always in my feelings about some things. So, we live in a time where, you know, people are suppressing their emotions. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to this. People don't want to that. But it took me a while to have some confidence to really put that out there and be okay with it and be my complete self, you know.
So tell me this: what kind of content are you speaking on this particular project?
What type of content? Like, what are the songs about?
Yeah, break it down to me.
So, on this project, The Things I Never Said, this is basically a compilation of scenarios and things that I've been through in relationships, whether that was a toxic relationship, whether that was a situationship, just things that I had suppressed throughout the years concerning those relationships, and now I'm just like confessing these things. So it's like a Usher confessions type of thing. So
I guess let me wrap my brain around this. Have all your relationships been toxic up until this point?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Yes, I would say that. And it wasn't even necessarily having to do with me being in a relationship with a toxic person. Just being immature, being, you know, just out there, uncontrollable, don't know how to control my emotions, this and that, have led me into those types of toxic relationships. So yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. So based off of going through those experiences, is it anything that by listening to your music somebody can learn from?
Yeah, they can learn from it. I have a song called Free, and that song basically points to coming to the ending of a toxic relationship, really just coming out of that mindset, coming out of certain habits, certain behaviors, coming out of the toxicity and really becoming free in who I am, finding myself, learning to love myself fully, and yeah, I would say so. We have a couple of songs on there.
Okay, so I have a two-part question.
Okay.
The first part is, explain to me, I guess, what is the sound of this project? What would you compare it to, or what would you say when I listen to this album? What vibe or what time period would I get when I play this album?
So one of my favorite albums of all time is, till this day, Aaliyah 1 in a Million album. And if you listen to some of the beats, if you listen to the songs and the tones and the melodies and things like that. You would hear a lot of Aaliyah in that. I wanted to do something different. I am an R&B singer, but I don't want to just put myself in that box. So there's a compilation of like 90s R&B, early 2000s, a little Anita Baker, a little Toni Braxton, you know, the greats, a little Monica, a little Keisha, like all of my inspirations. I wanted to put that into this project.
For a second, I thought you were discriminating because you named a lot of short hair women up until Keisha. So, I mean, I think Keisha's went that route as well before too, but.
I mean, can you blame me? It is what it is.
So,
History has taught us that women with short hair are the greats.
Okay.
Are they not?
I mean, we've had some. We had a few.
Thank you.
My second question is, what exactly is Drea K's sound?
Drea K, like what is her sound?
Yeah, who is Drea K when it comes to music?
Drea K is an emotional woman who writes songs from a place of hurt. She writes her stories. She writes love stories, whether that is good love stories or bad ones. She experiences a lot in her life pertaining to relationships and things like that. So Drea K is just an open book. She's not afraid to say what's on her mind. So, yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Based off what's on the project, what song resonates the most with you?
What song resonates the most with me? I would say Free and Back to Me. I love those songs.
So explain to me, I guess, what is it about those two records that stands out in particular?
So when I wrote Free, when I first heard the beat of it, of course it had like that 90s Brandy type of feel to it. But when I first heard it, I was in a place, I want to say like a year and a half ago, I was in a place where I wasn't able to do music. I wasn't able to really, pursue anything that I had dreamed of like I am now. So I was writing from a place of wanting to be free from, the mental things that I was going through, the depression, the discouragement, all of the things that you go through as an independent artist. But also, as it concerns to relationships, I just wanted to be free from my past. I wanted to be free from, the trauma, the things that I've experienced in those toxic relationships. So when I'm writing it, I wrote it from a place of, damn, I should have wrote this 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I wish I was in this place that I am, at that time. So that's Free. And actually being able to listen to it now and be in the place that I am as an artist, as a woman, as a creative, it resonates a lot every time I listen to it. So Back to Me is a record that I wrote as an apology letter to someone who I love dearly. And it's just a real raw record of being vulnerable and being accountable to, some of the things that I've done, I've said in relationships. So that one resonates a lot as well too.
Well, let me ask you this. Will you ever tell that individual that their record is for them?
Yeah, they know.
Okay.
They know. You know who you is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess my next question is, what was the writing process in putting these records together? Was it one of those situations where you already had the songs written and then the beats, or did you find the beats and then the beat spoke to you as to what you should say, or how did that go?
So most of these songs, except for Free and Back to Me, they're the most recent ones, but the other songs on the record, and Neva Eva, that is a recent song as well. But the other songs were written years ago. this was, over the period of being single, finding myself, not being in a relationship, learning how to navigate, loneliness and singleness and stuff like that. So those songs derived from that period in my life. But usually in my creative process, I hear a beat, I hear instrumental, and if I can visualize myself in the video, like how the video is gonna go, like if I can write a treatment for it, then a concept will come and then the words will come. First I start with melodies and then I just go back and put words into that. So
you're one of those people, you have to kind of visualize your music before you can write it.
Yeah, I have to, because it's, like, it's a part of creativity. I feel like I've always been a video girl. Like, I've always loved, Toni Braxton's videos, Keisha Cole's videos. They told stories, in their videos. Monica, they told stories. So I wanted to be an artist where the song matches the video, like it goes hand in hand. So it creates a story, it creates a narrative, and it brings you from point A to point B.
Okay, so let me ask you this. With this being your first project and you doing it independent, what were the obstacles you faced doing something like this on your own, and this being your first time putting out a complete project?
Well, to be honest, there were a lot of challenges, I feel, even on the creativity side and the business side. When you are so focused on being a creative, you're just writing the songs, you're writing the song treatments, the video treatments. What's the video gonna look like? What am I gonna look like? What am I gonna wear? How am I gonna style my hair? Things like that. You're worried about that on the creative side, but it's hard to focus and channel in on the business side when you are a creative. So some of the challenges that I would run into I would get the song written, I would get the song recorded, I'll put the song out, it's time for the video, put the video out. Now how am I gonna promote this? Oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that part. So that was a challenge. Spending, as a female, and I'm realizing R&B, being an R&B artist is very expensive. So there will be times where, I would pay for studio sessions. Sessions would get canceled or I would have to reschedule it. But I would create a budget for this specific thing, thinking in my mind, oh, it's gonna go like this, it's gonna go like that, it's gonna go on schedule, everything's gonna be on time, everything's gonna all of the T's are gonna be crossed, all of that. But things will come up, unforeseen circumstances, people not showing up to videos, people canceling at the last minute, just things like that. So the biggest challenge was to deal with the unforeseen circumstances.
So you said the biggest challenge. What was the biggest surprise going through this process?
The biggest surprise, honestly, just how much it'll cost, how much time it'll take. Like I was saying, trying to merge the creative side and the business side, like that's a whole monster within itself. So I would say that was the biggest surprise. Having to worry about everything at once. Okay. So let me ask you this. Going through this journey, what was something that became an asset to you that you didn't think was necessarily going to be an asset to you? Did you gain anything from going through this process, whether it was networking with a new individual person or learning a new skill or acquiring anything? What was something that you picked up along the way going through this experience? So when you are in the creative process, because I have already developed skill sets, for example, if I had already expended the budget, or if these unforeseen circumstances came up, instead of worrying about how I'm gonna pay for this, I'm able to do it. I'm able to edit a video. I'm able to create reels. I'm able to, manage my own social media account. I'm, able to do my own hair, do my own makeup, so that has become my greatest asset. Just being able to know how to do those things in case, the time calls for it. But also having resources, having a network of people that also have skill sets, those types of skill sets that you need to create a project like this. Being able to call on people, being able to, ask for favors, or, be able to pay people to do certain things for you. So I would say that. And skill sets, definitely skill sets for yourself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess moving forward, what was the biggest thing how did your perspective change from what you thought certain things might have been in comparison now to what you see it being now that you've went through the process? Meaning, you might have thought certain things went a certain kind of way before you started, but now you see it moves differently now that you've completed this project.
When you are dependent on other people to help you accomplish things, whether that's in this project or in life, you're always going to be met with obstacles. You're always going to be met with, setbacks. A lot of blurred lines get in the mix. Communication is very much key when you're communicating with people. Hey, I need this done by a certain time. Hey, are you able to complete this at a certain time? I think my background in project management is literally like step 1, step 2, step 3, step this. Okay, why are we not getting this done? Okay, like I'm the follow-up lady, So having that mindset going into a project like this, but other people not having that mindset going into something like this, it can become frustrating because you're used to being on deadlines. You're used to completing things. You're used to marking stuff off of your list, but other people, it just don't go like that. It just does not go like that in any project. So, yeah.
What do you find to be going through this project? Mm-hmm. What process was the most taxing in reference to? Was it the marketing, the recording, the writing? What actual process did you find to be a lot harder than expected?
Creating the videos, creating music videos. I have such this big vision of what I wanted the project to look like. I knew what I wanted it to sound like. The music part, we got that out of the way. But when it came to me creating a story and taking that process and trying to, do the videos and things like that, I realized that, for one, you need more resources, you need backups, you need a bigger budget for the things that you actually want to do. And it's also just me understanding where I am versus where I want to be, and learning how to navigate the now while trying to still get to the future. So really what I mean by that is learning how to navigate and utilize my resources that I do have while working towards the big step, getting to the next step in the creative process as well. But developing these scripts for these videos, I wanted to have therapy sessions, I wanted to have characters, I wanted to do short films, and we're still gonna do that, but just trying to get the project done and trying to get what makes sense done. That's what we're gonna focus on right now.
Okay. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, I got more questions for you in reference to this project.
Okay, great, because I'm hungry.
Thought I did that chopper like I see you, boy.
Free from the fear of
we back from commercial break. You know what I'm saying? Here with Andrea K. Dre, let me ask you a question.
What's up, Joseph?
Do you feel like now that you went through this process, you had quite grand ideas for the rollout and things of that nature, meaning the visuals and things of that nature. But do you feel like you could be just as effective with a smaller budget as with a larger budget for what you were trying to do?
Definitely. Having a smaller budget, as long as you have I'm not even gonna say as long as you have a vision, because sometimes your vision overrides your budget. Your vision can supersede your budget. So I would say whatever makes the most sense, whatever allows you to gain a profit, whatever allows you to be seen, be visible, whatever allows you to be creative, whatever makes sense, fit that within your budget. You don't need thousands of dollars, or you don't even need to start your first project with thousands of dollars. I feel like that was another thing that I ran into. I'm thinking from a creator's standpoint, oh, these videos, they're gonna have 4K, I'm gonna have 3-minute songs, and I'm taking it back to the 90s, and it's gonna have all of these great, visuals and this and this and that. But when you get on social media, you realize people's attention span is like this. Like, if you don't catch them within that 30 seconds, if you're not already well known, if you don't already have a following, then maybe starting there would be a hindrance to actually getting your music out there in the public and actually marketing it and branding yourself as an artist. So you do not need a big budget. I wish I would have took this into consideration when I first started this project, but yeah.
All right, so we have the first video out. If I'm not mistaken, Neva Eva, correct?
Yeah.
So what's next? What are we gonna see next from Andrea K visually?
Visually, you're going to see Andrea K just getting some content out, whether that is behind the scenes of things like this. This after show, this is going to be pieces of content that we can kind of break up and post on all social media platforms. As far as the music is concerned, we're going to do some, 30-minute reels. We're going to, sing the lyrics. We're going to do, things like that, things that are quicker to get out there to the public instead of waiting weeks and months to create these big storylines and all of this and that. So you're going to be seeing a lot more content, a lot more short form content that we can just post all over social media, and the long form content, longer videos like this, as well as my YouTube videos. I'm doing vlogs. So make sure you subscribe to Andrea K TV on YouTube. All of that long form content is going to be on YouTube.
Okay. So, Andrea, I know a lot of people know that you're a private individual.
Yeah.
So, how would you prefer these people to reach out to you? Because I know I'm pretty sure booking wise for shows, events, etc., on top of that, just having fans or people who admire you. How would you prefer that they reach out to you?
Honestly, I want to build a community of independent artists, independent creatives. I want to be, I want to pour into them as much as I can on a level that makes sense, to me, being a private person. So as a businesswoman, I would want to connect with my fans through my email list. So I have an email list. If you go to the link in my bio on Instagram, you could join that email list. I will be sending out weekly emails to everybody. All of my supporters, people who are interested in learning about entrepreneurship, business, things like that, marketing, branding, developing your skill set, all of that, everything that comes with being an independent artist or creative. But also my website, ddraak.com, any bookings. I'm actually into coaching. I'm getting back into coaching and business consulting and things like that as well, as a way to fund the creativity, fund the music and things like that. So if anyone is interested in that aspect, they can go to dredk.com, book a session with me, and we can just go from there. But the DMs, sliding in the DMs, like, we're not doing that, okay? We're not gonna do that. But yeah, I would rather keep it professional. I would rather keep the relationship that I have with my fans on a professional level, but also, you know, letting them into some parts of my life through vlogs and things like that.
Okay. So, Dre, let me ask you this: what's the goals for the rest of 2024?
What are the goals? You know, as a creator, as a businesswoman, I have a lot of goals, okay? But through this project, I'm learning how to take one step at a time, to take baby steps through this whole thing. The vision is like this big. So I would say one of my goals is to just be an example to independent artists, independent creatives, people who have a creative skill set, people who know how to sing, who know how to dance, to become their own corporation, become their own brand. I want to be that example through that on the business side, but also through the creativity side. I want artists to get back to really going deep into themselves and pulling out great music. It's not just about the content, but the music, what you're talking about. Go back to actually feeling what you're feeling and talk about it. Don't be scared to, you know, put yourself out there. Don't be scared to be vulnerable in your music. Like, one thing I'm learning is that creating the music, that's the place where I can be my most vulnerable. That's the place where I can be creative in my vulnerability. So I want to inspire people through the music, and I also want to inspire people through entrepreneurship too. So that's a goal.
So, stating previously that you being a businesswoman, how is it coming with a business mindset into the world of music and entertainment? Do you feel like the same rules apply, or do you have to adjust, or what's the similarities and differences you've ran across with a business mindset trying to navigate through the business of music?
I realized that the business side is going to leverage your music, but if you don't start with a product, the music being the product, if you don't start by building that product up, making people aware of that product, putting yourself out there, telling people about this product, then the business side isn't really going to kick into effect until that product starts, you know, booming. So my mindset has been on, okay, I'm gonna use this music to market my services. I'm gonna use this business to market my brand, to feed the business, to cultivate the business, to shift people's mindset into entrepreneurship when it comes to business. So I think that focusing more on how I want to deliver the product, being music, is going to help drive the business forward. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. This might be somewhat of a controversial question. How do you feel clout plays a part in reference to forwarding your music?
Let me think about that. You see, like, the thing with clout is that it could be disguised as desperation, I feel like. And it's also kind of disguised as, I don't really believe in my product like that, so I'm not gonna treat it as, you know, precious to me. Like, I'm not gonna treat this project, I'm not gonna treat it as something special to me. I'm just gonna put it out there and see whoever, you know, comes to it, whoever listens to it, however which way I can get money out of this, however which way I can get a personal gain from this. I feel like clout plays a big part in that. But if you're like a real artist and you're a real creative, you're sensitive about your shit, right? So there comes a time and a point where you have to have some sense of integrity when it comes to your music, when it comes to your brand. You don't want to be known as a clout chaser. You don't want to be known as a scammer. You don't want to be known as a person with no morals. Like, if you're anything like me, I would say. So, yeah, clout definitely can be disguised as desperation.
Okay. Do you find that to be an issue with music? Do you find that to be a hurdle that sometimes can be difficult to lapse?
Yeah, because the way the algorithm is on social media, the way the music entertainment industry is now, they put people on. They fund careers based off of how much clout you can get, based off of how much attention you can get towards your music. At this point, you can sell ass, you can sell, it don't matter, just to sell a record. And I feel like that is not the way to go when you're really an artist, when you're really a creative, when you have, respect for the art, So I think that when you are in a place of starting out, you can be tempted to do, the clout chasing, tactics or whatever, because that's all you see. Well, so-and-so got on when they did this TikTok video. So-and-so got on when they started this hustle, And if you're not true to yourself and you're not true to your art and you're not true to your music, you're going to fall into those clout chasing tactics. So I think it plays a big part, especially on social media.
All right, so Dre, let me ask you a question. Besides this R&B project, you doing anything else with the music? Are you trying anything else?
Yeah, so I'm a rapper now, a singer/rapper. Okay, so I'm trying my hand at rapping, and it's going actually pretty good. So I'm coming out with some rap songs. Do I say rap or hip hop?
I would just say it's music because it might have a blend of both rapping and singing in there.
Yeah, so we coming out with that. I have a song coming out, Big Dog Status. It's going to be basically a women's empowerment song, but on the south tip, right? So we going into that this summer. We're going into the summer really on some look, y'all just gonna have to see it.
Anything else you want to let the people know before we wrap up? Any words of empowerment or anything that you want to let your fans know?
I would say don't put out any music unless you truly know yourself, unless you're ready for the backlash, unless you are ready for going against the grain, unless you are ready to become a target, unless you are ready for the back end of the blessing, I would say. A lot of times as creatives, we just put our stuff out there. We are so focused on the front end. Get the stuff done, put it out there, boom, 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 boom. Okay, now what? Make sure you're prepared for the following. Make sure you're prepared for the influence. Make sure you're prepared for the impact. Make sure your character is able to sustain anything and everything that comes with being a creative. Because when you are a creative, you are going to go against the grain. You're going to go against the norm. So you got to be okay with being the outcast. You got to be okay with being the pioneer. So I would say that. And also, when you are at a point of creating music, don't overthink it like I be doing. Okay? Set your camera up, set your phone up, even if you don't have expensive cameras or expensive equipment or lighting. Like, find you some good light, set your camera up on your phone, and record yourself talking. Record yourself talking about your creative process. Record yourself doing something like this. Record yourself singing. Don't be afraid to put it out there. Just go with the flow, stop overthinking it, and just get it done. A lot of you all have been wanting to put out projects for years. A lot of you all have been wanting to, a lot of you are tired of seeing other people put out projects, and the years are literally passing you by. So I would just say do it, stop overthinking it, and be ready for whatever comes with that. If you get 1,000 followers after you post a video, if you get 10, 20 followers, be okay with that. Be okay with the process in every aspect of the journey.
All right. Well, I definitely feel like those are great advice for inspiring and upcoming artists.
Yeah?
Yeah. So look, before we leave, let the people know where they can find you at and what you got in store once again.
Yeah, so my Instagram, I created a new Instagram page, the Andrea K, on all platforms, even on TikTok. I have a new TikTok. We are growing organically on social media, so make sure you follow me on there. Again, sign up for my email list. The link is in my bio. Visit my website, theandreak.com. If you're interested in coaching, consulting, if you're ready to get your creative project out of your mind and out into the world, I'm your girl. And yeah, check out my music stream, Things I Never Said, coming out soon. I'm so excited. Stream my new single, Neva Eva, music video. Everything is out on YouTube, and subscribe to the YouTube channel because we got a lot of things to talk about. We got a lot of things to do this summer, so yeah.
That's a bet. So once again, appreciate you for putting in this work, Drea. It's been a long time.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I believe that you've put together a pretty good project that I think that is going to win a few people over.
Well, thanks.
So hopefully you'll continue to keep up the good work.
Hopefully.
You know.
Y'all, she has been very inconsistent. That's why Joseph asked me that at the beginning. Like, what took you so long? Like, I've been very in my head, very inconsistent, putting out a project, putting out a song, not having a follow-up, going ghost. Like, we're not doing that anymore in 2024, okay? So, stay tuned, okay? Huh, Joe?
Yeah, and with that, I think that's a perfect outro to let the people know we're out.
Yeah.